working day, and I invite to the microphone Mr. Yevgen Nyschuk, ex-Minister of Culture of Ukraine, People's Artist of Ukraine, the so-called voice of Maidan, and one of the fathers of the Heavenly 100 heroes. They would like to appeal to the legislative bodies of Ukraine about necessary amendments to the law in Ukraine on the judiciary. I would like to use this opportunity to speak to the mass media and to the entire society, and to mention that we are approaching to the very important date in the modern history of Ukrainian nation, to November 21st, which is the day of liberty and dignity. And today the president has published a decree about establishing a working group to prepare the special award on the occasion of this day. This day, in the memories of many people, is the day which back in 2004 became the day when people decided to fight for their dignity, and 9 years later, on November 21st, this was the beginning of the long period of events when people started again fighting for their dignity. They stood for their dignity, and 9 days later they were shamefully beaten by the law enforcement authorities. This incident became important not just for Ukraine but for many countries in the world, because in that period Ukraine has proved that it serves like a firewall, like a brandmauer, standing for the protection of democratic values, liberty and dignity, which, as the Bible teaches us, is probably the biggest values for any human being. Currently, we keep gathering various ideas from NGOs, from initiative groups who develop their vision how this day should be celebrated. Closer to this day, somewhere on November 17th, we will announce the exact agenda for the program. But as of today, we would like to remind you that this date raises a lot of thoughts, and now in advance I would like to bring to your attention to the father of one of the Heavenly 100 heroes, who will attract your attention to very important aspects. Thank you for this opportunity. Now, on the eve of second anniversary of the Maidan events, we again point out to the necessity to investigate and to punish those who oppressed people on Maidan, who have beaten students, who have beaten Auto-Maidan activists. Currently, society in general and human rights activists have lost attention to this topic. Tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, there will be court hearings, court proceedings in the cases of Maidan activists and Auto-Maidan activists. And I appeal today to the authorities and to the country leadership to ensure efficient and fair court proceedings and ensure fair court decision and punishment for those who organized all this. Currently, we witness a huge problems in investigation. We feel a strong oppression and strong opposition from the Ministry of the Interior. And the minister, one of the former ministers of the Interior, mentioned that we do not we do not give up our officers to the enemies, and today it is very painful for us to see that those people who wounded our relatives, that they remain in their positions in the law enforcement system. That's why I call forth to the authorities to investigate the cases fairly and in unbiased way. And another aspect, currently there are a lot of draft laws in the parliament dealing with the social protection of young of families who suffered in result of the Maidan events. For example, the draft law on assistance, financial assistance to be paid to the families who lost their breadwinners in Maidan events. Many young people who were killed, they are not subject to the social security payments because they did not have a sufficient number of years as their service years, and while their families remained without breadwinners. And now I open Q&A session. Tatiana Oharkova, UCMC. The investigation of the Maidan crimes has been lasting for a long period of time. Whether you plan to appeal to the European courts. Quite long ago, we filed all necessary materials, all necessary cases, and filed them to the International Criminal Court in The Hague. And we do not stop. Looking for proofs. We'll search for video materials, for documents. We appeal to the Prosecutor's General Office, and we see that there are a lot of obstacles existing for the investigation, and we would like to attract attention of the society to this investigation and to the fact that investigation is not finished, and those who should be blamed, they are not punished. Some time ago, the entire world was able to see that famous video showing how many times Ambroskin shoot. I think that having this video, which could be used as a proof, there could be no further hesitations whether to keep him in detention or let him to go. Automaidan source collected a lot of supporting material, a lot of videos and a lot of proofs which could be used by the investigation team. I believe that the families of Maidan heroes should finally see the fair judgment. I would like to use this opportunity to invite all the journalists and all the interested stakeholders to the Svatoshin District Court on Zhelyanska 142. This will be the hearing about murder of 39 the Haben 100 heroes on February 19th, 2014, and I believe that you should be present as journalists there and then report to broad public about these hearings, about the video which Yevgen mentioned. This is a series of videos shot by different people, and you can see that Ambroskin made at least 10 shoots. I think that some 2 weeks later we will again have briefing and inform you about the campaign to commemorate the memory of Maidan heroes. Thank you, dear colleagues. Our working day is over. Tomorrow we start our working day.